Good morning, everyone. Happy Saturday. Welcome to Medical Qigong practice. My name is Mary Frances, and I am one of Henry Junwali's students. Let's go ahead and begin. Opening up about hip width, shoulder width apart. Feet are going to be parallel. That allows the channels to be open evenly in the front of the body as well as in the back of the body. We're breathing in and out through the nose. The tip of the tongue is going to be touching the roof of the mouth. And we're relaxing into the space. Bringing our awareness to the bottoms of the feet. Letting them melt into the earth. Softening the knees, relaxing the low back, maybe letting the tailbone drop, relaxing the shoulders, relaxing the jaw, and allowing the very top of the head to elevate just a bit into the sky. With the hands in loose fists, we're going to start swaying from side to side. If you want, you can bend the knees a little bit. Bending at the center and then extending a little bit as you go from side to side. Breathing as deeply as possible while still remaining relaxed. We're not forcing the breath, we're just allowing the breath to enter the body. And then gradually, that lead hand is going to start working its way up the torso to the opposing shoulder. Trying to keep the arms as relaxed as possible. And then letting that lead arm travel back down the torso to the waist. Taking some of the momentum away from the legs. And slowly letting yourself come back to the center. Widening our stance. We're tapping the inner thigh and then up at the hip. Transitioning, widening the stance further, and we'll scoot over a bit. We're starting from the hip, working our way down the inner aspect of the legs towards just above the ankle, or wherever it's comfortable for you. Before then traveling to the lateral aspect of the leg, coming back on up towards the hips. Once you reach the glutes and the hips, sliding that left foot over towards the right, maintaining that hip width, shoulder width distance. And then continuing up to underneath the rib cage, waking up the kidneys, saying hello to the kidney energy. Or then resting the palms at the low back, circling down the sides and up the spine. Resting the palms at the low back, closing the eyes. And breathing in through the nose, guiding the breath and the chi down the throat, through the torso, meeting the palms at the low back. And as you exhale, allowing the chi to go to wherever it's needed within the body. Inhaling, guiding the breath and the chi to the kidneys, allowing them to fill up with energy. And as you exhale, allowing that energy to flow freely to wherever it's needed. Inhaling and exhaling at your own pace. Allowing the mind to quiet. Allowing the body to relax. And allowing yourself to be in this one moment. And then when you're ready, gently opening the eyes, letting the arms come back down to the sides, and closing by bringing that left foot back to the right. Okay, so today it's our Saturday practice, so we're going to do our regular 30-minute practice, and then if you'd like to stay at the end, we're going to have 15 minutes to go over our final exercise in the Golden 8 series. So beginning our practice of the Golden 8, 1 through 7, opening up for Reach for Happiness, our lung and large intestine exercise. Inhaling and exhaling. In and out. Inhaling and exhaling. In and out. Now you get to go at your own pace, letting the breath draw the exercise forward. Getting ready to close. Closing. Opening for our second exercise, the Archer, for the heart and small intestine. Inhaling and exhaling. In and out. Continuing on at your own pace, letting the movement and the breath harmonize. And allowing the mind to stay with the breath. So if it starts traveling off, just gently guide it back to the exercise, back to the breath. Getting ready to close. And closing. And our third exercise, between heaven and earth, with the spleen and stomach. Inhaling and exhaling. In and out. Inhaling and exhaling. Relaxing as much as possible as you flow through the exercise. The more relaxed the tissues are, the easier the blood and the qi may flow. And getting ready to close. And closing. Our fourth exercise, the Senjo exercise. Turn and look back. Opening. Inhaling and exhaling. In and out. Inhaling and exhaling. Staying with the exercise, enjoying all of its subtleties. Getting ready to close. And closing. Next, we have our liver gallbladder exercise, twist and release. Opening up. Inhaling. And exhaling. In. And out. And getting ready to close. Closing. Opening for our sixth exercise, bend for health for the liver or kidney and urinary bladder. We just did liver and gallbladder. Now we're doing kidney and urinary bladder. Bend for health. Opening up. Inhaling. And exhaling. In. And out. Inhaling. And exhaling. Inhaling. And exhaling. Inhaling back to standing. Working at your own pace, speeding up or slowing down the movements according to what works best with your body. Making the exercise your exercise. And getting ready to close. Closing. Opening for our 7th exercise, energy punch for the Rin and conception vessel. Rin and conception vessel are the same channel. Opening up. Inhaling. Exhaling. In. And out. Inhaling. And exhaling. Inhaling as you extend to draw in. Exhaling as you retract and release. And getting ready to close. Closing. Bringing the feet and hands together. Transferring some of that energy to the palms. That energy that we've spent the past half hour cultivating. Placing the palms at the lower dantian. Traditionally, men place their left hand first, right on top. Women right and then left. I'm not going to mirror you here. We're all going to travel up our right and down our left 9 times. And then the other way, up the left and down the right 9 times. And resting the palms at the lower dantian, we're closing the eyes. Inhaling through the nose, guiding the breath and the chi to the lower dantian, allowing it to fill up with energy. And exhaling, allowing that energy to settle and store so that you may use it throughout the rest of your day. Inhaling and exhaling at your own pace. Allowing the mind to relax, the body to relax, and the chi to settle and store. Thank you, thank you, thank you. If you have to zip away, we hope we get to see you tomorrow or next week or sometime soon. But if you want to stay and learn the energy jump, which is the 8th exercise, please do so. And then afterwards, of course, Henry's going to talk and probably explain the exercise in a little more detail, or philosophy, or chit chat. So for the energy jump, it's the 8th exercise in the Golden 8, and it is for the do channel, or the governing vessel. So the Ren channel, which we talked about last week for the energy punch, that goes up the midline of the body. And the do channel goes up the spine into the brain. So it comes, I'm giving you a loose definition, a loose pathway, but it goes, it actually starts in the abdomen, in the lower abdomen, where the rim channel does, and then it goes down beneath the body, beneath the torso, into the spine, coming up the spine, into the brain, and around the skull, through the hairline, or the scalp, once again, all on the midline, coming down over the nose and ending up here. So that when we allow the tip of the tongue to touch the roof of the mouth, we're creating that loop, that connection between the rim channel and the dew channel, or the governing vessel channel. So for our exercise, we're going to open up hip width, shoulder width apart. This exercise comes in 2 parts. The first part is we're simply going to come up onto our toes, and then we're going to allow the heels to drop, and then we're going to soften the body. So to go into that more in detail, as you come up onto the toes, it's going to be an inhale, and it's almost as if someone is taking a string or some type of energy umbilical cord, maybe, from the very top of the head and pulling you up into the sky, right? So as you inhale, you're feeling yourself being elevated up into the sky. And you hang out there for just a moment before then dropping. That wasn't a very good drop. With the drop, theoretically, classically, you want the heels to be able to strike the ground. You're up on your toes, and then when you drop, you want the heels to create that vibration through the heel up into the body. Now, here's a big caveat. We don't want to hurt ourselves. And so if you have any knee issues, low back hip issues, neck issues, any joint issues, if you strike the ground very, very hard and with the knees locked, that's going to create more pain, which obviously we don't want to do. So as your heels hit the ground, then you kind of melt like a candle, right? Or candle wax. That's how I think of it. Henry actually does this exercise very beautifully. So you come up, and then as you exhale, your heels hit the ground, and then you immediately kind of melt just a little bit, absorbing the vibration. That vibration, classically, once again, is key because it creates a vibration up the body and into the brain, activating the dew channel, the dew system. So we're inhaling, allowing ourselves to elevate, and then holding for just a moment before then exhaling and allowing the heels to strike the floor, and then immediately softening the knees and softening the rest of the body and just melting, okay? So we do that part of the exercise 3 or 5 times. Let's go ahead and try now. Settling into the space. We're inhaling and then exhaling. In and out. And it doesn't have to be that dramatic. Inhaling and exhaling. Okay? And when I say Henry does it beautifully, I mean, he really does look like his body just melts. So it doesn't have to be there's a little bit of jarring element, but it shouldn't be so jarring that it hurts or injures any element of the body. So we do that a few times, and then we're going to do our jumping, or the added element of jumping. We're going to swing the arms forward, coming up onto the toes once again, and then allowing the arms to sweep back behind us, okay? Creating a bit of a rocking motion with the feet. So arms come up in front, and then arms drop in back. And the torso counterbalances by coming forward. So we swing up and down, up and down, up and down, trying to remain as relaxed as possible. And say you did 3 of these first elements, Then you'll do 3 of these, and then taking the momentum away, but allowing yourself to gradually come back to stillness. Okay, so let's practice that a little bit. You're swinging the arms up and allowing the torso to open up a little bit before then allowing yourself to fall forward a little bit. Up and down, up and down. And then you're working with your own rhythm. The breath is loosely inhaling as you go up and exhaling as you go down. And the more you practice, the more relaxed it'll be, the more stable it'll be. Don't throw yourself off balance. If you want, you can go with a little less of a movement. This works quite well. It's up to you. What feels good to you? Okay, so let's try putting them together and practicing a few times. Let's go ahead and close. So you can start from the beginning. We're opening up to the left. The feet are parallel, about hip width, shoulder width apart. We're inhaling and then exhaling, repositioning, inhaling, and then exhaling, repositioning, inhaling, and exhaling, reposition, and then for our second half, inhaling, exhaling, in, out, and then taking away the momentum. And allowing yourself to come back to stillness. And then closing. Checking the time. Okay, let's try that one more time. Play with your breath, play with the movement, try and get the two to come together and find out what pace works best for you. Also, how big of a movement works best for you. So it may be much, much more subtle. It may be a more aggressive movement, but never too aggressive, not too aggressive. Opening. And begin. And getting ready for our second part. And getting ready to bring it to a close. Closing. So that's the energy jump. And Henry will have more pointers and answer any questions that you might have after the class. So let's go ahead and close. We've got our feet together. We're bringing our hands back together. And placing the palms the lower dantian. Go ahead and close your eyes and start with your 9 circles, going up the right and down the left, gathering all that wonderful qi that we've been cultivating into the lower dantian. Once you've completed your first 9 circles, then go ahead, switch directions, concentrating that energy into the lower dantian. And then resting the palms at the lower dantian, inhaling through the nose, guiding the breath and the qi to the lower dantian, allowing it to fill up with the energy. And exhaling, allowing that energy to settle and store so that you may use it throughout the rest of your day. Inhaling and exhaling at your own pace. Thank you, thank you, thank you so very, very much. Happy Saturday. Henry, please answer our questions.
Good morning, everybody. Happy Saturday. Thank you, Mary Frances, for leading us through practice and teaching us about the last exercise in this series, the energy jump. Okay, so this last exercise, just want to review. Main thing is you definitely don't want to hurt yourself in this exercise. Especially if you have any like herniated disc, you want to be super, super careful, but always, even if you don't, always listen to your body, right? So if you feel like, you know, something's not quite right, something is hurting, let us know, okay? But you want to go soft on this. You want to make sure your knees are soft so that when you land, okay, you're not causing pain and discomfort. Now you're super like strong, your spine is great, you can do a little bit harder. Okay, so yeah, like she said, when you're starting out, imagine like there's a string that's pulling you up, rising, and then cutting it off, and then you drop. Okay, but when you drop, make sure that everything is soft. And you can experiment going up a little bit harder if you feel that's okay for you. The reason why we do this exercise is that it helps wake up the nervous system, it helps wake up the skeletal system. And as Mary Frances mentioned, this is really good for our governing channel, which runs up through our spine. And so it does a really good job of stimulating the bone marrow production and going right into your brain. So there's a very strong exercise for your kidneys as well. And this is also the last exercise. So we're starting to ground the energy. So as you're doing this movement, and you're going down, really feel that downward motion, really feel not just the spine, but also just feel like things are starting to ground, especially in the second part when you're shaking your hands, okay? That's when you're starting to bring energy down, because we've been doing the other 7 exercise and also the first part of the 8th exercise. There's a lot of energy that can come up to the head, okay? So now as we're getting ready to wind down, we want to make sure to ground everything and things aren't stuck up here. And that's why the swinging exercise, the second part of the 8, we're bringing everything down to the ground. So you also want to do that with your intention. Just feel it in your feet as you're rocking back and forth and swinging your arms. So yeah, that's the 8th exercise, and that completes this series and set. So as you do all 8 exercises, you're going to cover all the 12 primary channels in Chinese medicine, as well as 2 of the extraordinary channels, the governing channel and the conception channel. So this is a really good series for maintenance, or if you have any specific issues, this is a very modular series, so you don't have to do all 8 at once. We do all 8 more for maintenance and overall health. But if you have anything specific, you can do just that one exercise, for example. So if you want to work on your nervous system, your skeletal system, your spine, you can work on just this exercise. That's the beauty of the series, is that it's very modular.